OpenAI kickstarted the artificial intelligence arms race with the explosive debut of ChatGPT in late 2022, turning the startup into a $300 billion company and founder Sam Altman into a household name.
We are told that the future of humanity rests in the hands of a few brilliant, benevolent minds. We are told that the man leading the charge, Sam Altman, is a visionary, a modern-day Steve Jobs, driven by a pure desire to benefit all of mankind. But what if that story is a lie? What if the man who controls the most powerful technology in human history is himself controlled? What if the future of artificial intelligence is being steered by forces we can't see, forces that have every reason to keep their influence hidden? This is not a conspiracy theory. This is an investigation into the most opaque, complex, and terrifying corporate structure ever created, the one that controls OpenAI. We are going to expose the hidden hands, the secret agreements, and the true agenda behind the man who is trying his best to hide who really controls him. The title of this video is, Who Controls Sam Altman and Why He's Trying His Best to Hide It. For years, Sam Altman and OpenAI sold us a beautiful story, that they were a non-profit organization dedicated to safety, with a mission to build artificial general intelligence, AGI, for the benefit of everyone. This was the founding myth, the shield that protected them from the scrutiny that traditional tech companies face. It was a promise that they would put people before profit. But that myth is dead. The reality is far more complicated and far more dangerous. The first crack in the story is the corporate structure itself. OpenAI is not a normal company. It is a Frankenstein's monster of corporate law, a capped profit subsidiary controlled by a power non-profit board. To understand this, imagine a massive, powerful rocket ship. The profit-making part is the engine, built to go faster and higher than anyone else. But the non-profit board holds the steering wheel and the brakes. This structure was supposed to be the ultimate safety mechanism. The non-profit board was meant to be the ultimate guardian, the last line of defense against the profit motive. Their job was simple, but vital. If AGI became too dangerous, they had the power to stop it, even if it meant destroying billions of dollars in shareholder value. They were the moral compass, the emergency stop button. But who controls the board? That is the first hidden hand. The board members are not elected by shareholders, they are self-selecting. They are a small, tight-knit group of academics, researchers, and philosophers. They are the ones who, for a brief chaotic moment in November 2023, actually fired Sam Altman. That event was not a mistake. It was a Cadi stress test year of the entire system, and the system failed spectacularly. The board, the supposed guardians of humanity, were immediately crushed by the second, far more powerful hidden hand: the money. The moment Altman was fired, the investors, specifically Microsoft, stepped in. They didn't care about the nonprofit mission or the safety concerns. They cared about the trillions of dollars pain of future value tied up in OpenAI's technology. The pressure was immediate, overwhelming, and public. Within days, the board was forced to reverse its decision, effectively proving that the nonprofit structure was a paper tiger. The lesson is chillingly clear. The safety mechanism failed. The money won. And the man who was supposed to be the visionary leader was revealed to be a pawn, easily moved by the true power brokers. The entire world watched as the moral authority of the nonprofit board was dismantled in less than 72 hours by the sheer force of corporate finance. This single event proved that the mission of safety for all humanity is secondary to the mission of return on investment. To put this into perspective, imagine a nuclear power plant where the safety inspectors are suddenly overruled by the plant's biggest customer. That is exactly what happened at OpenAI. The board was the safety inspector, and the investors were the customer who couldn't afford a delay. The result is a company where the profit engine is now running without a functional brake. This is the terrifying foundation upon which the future of AI is being built. If the nonprofit board is powerless, then who truly controls Sam Altman? The answer lies in the complex web of financial and political dependencies that he has meticulously built around himself and OpenAI. The most obvious hidden hand is Microsoft. Their investment is not just money, it is infrastructure. OpenAI's models run on Microsoft's Azure cloud. This is a critical dependency that goes far beyond a simple business partnership. Think of it this way. Microsoft is not just a landlord. They are the sole provider of air and water to the entire OpenAI city. If Microsoft decided to flip a switch, OpenAI would cease to function. This gives Microsoft an unprecedented level of control, not just over the technology, but over the man running it. Sam Altman is the brilliant, public-facing CEO, but he is fundamentally the Chief Technology Officer of Microsoft's AI division. He is the face of the operation, but Microsoft holds the keys to the server room. Microsoft's agenda is not altruistic. It is a pure resource acquisition strategy. They are not just buying a piece of the future. They are ensuring that their entire corporate ecosystem is the only viable platform for that future. Every time you use ChatGPT, you are not just using an OpenAI product, you are strengthening Microsoft's cloud dominance. This is a brilliant, silent takeover where the product itself is the Trojan horse for corporate control. But the control goes deeper than corporate investment. The third hidden hand is the geopolitical agenda. Altman is not just a tech CEO, he is a global diplomat. He travels the world, meeting with heads of state, lobbying for AI regulation, and positioning OpenAI as the only trustworthy steward of AGI. This isn't just marketing, it's a strategic move to capture the regulatory landscape. By being the first to the table, Altman helps write the rules, and the rules he proposes are often designed to benefit only companies with the massive resources of OpenAI and Microsoft. This creates a regulatory moat that keeps smaller, potentially more disruptive competitors out of the game. It's like a giant corporation helping to write the safety rules for a new industry, knowing that only they can afford to comply. This eliminates competition and solidifies their power. Who is he working for when he does this? Is it the nonprofit mission, or is it the interests of the powerful governments and corporations who want to maintain their current power structure in the face of radical technological change? The fact that he is so deeply embedded in the political process, yet so evasive about the true nature of his company's control, is the core of the catastrophe. He is a master of the case-received power play, using the fear of AGI to push for regulations that ultimately benefit his corporate partners. The fourth hidden hand is the venture capital network. Altman is deeply connected to the world of venture capital, not just through OpenAI but through his own personal investments and funds. This network operates on a single principle: maximum growth, maximum speed. This pressure for speed directly conflicts with the slow, cautious approach required for AI safety. The venture capital world demands that the AI be deployed now, before competitors can catch up, regardless of the risks. This relentless pursuit of speed is a form of control, forcing Altman to prioritize deployment over the very safety mission he claims to champion. The true catastrophe is not that Sam Altman is controlled, it is that the control is hidden. This opacity creates a systemic risk that threatens the entire world. The first twist is the moral hazard. Because the public believes the nonprofit mission is still in charge, they trust the safety claims. This trust is a moral hazard. It allows the profit-driven, investor-controlled entity to move faster and take greater risks than they ever could if they were transparently a for-profit company. The nonprofit shell is the perfect camouflage for a hyper-capitalist agenda. It's a bait and switch on a global scale. We are trusting a wolf in sheep's clothing, because the sheep's clothing is a legal document. This moral hazard is why the safety guardrails are constantly being pushed back. Every time a new, faster model is released, it's a sign that the profit motive has won another round against the safety team. The public is being used as a shield to justify a race to the bottom, where the only thing that matters is being first. The second twist is the bond single point of failure. The entire system is built around the genius and charisma of one man. The moment the board tried to remove him, the system nearly imploded. This proves that the control is not in the structure, but in the individual. And any system that relies on the moral integrity of a single, highly pressured individual is fundamentally unstable. The November crisis showed that the stability of the world's most important technology rests on the personal employment status of one man. That is not a safety mechanism, that is a ticking time bomb. The sheer concentration of power in one person's hands, even if he is controlled by others, is a risk no society should tolerate. The world held its breath, not because of a technical failure, but because of a boardroom drama, proving that the human element and the control over that human element is the weakest link. The final, most chilling twist is the unaccountable power. When the AI makes a mistake, when it causes economic disruption, spreads misinformation, or develops dangerous capabilities, who is truly responsible? Is it the nonprofit board that was overruled? Is it Microsoft, who only provided the infrastructure? Is it Sam Altman, who claims to be a mere employee? The answer is terrifying. No one is truly accountable. The complex structure is a legal shield designed to deflect responsibility. The man at the top is controlled by forces he won't name, and those forces are protected by a corporate structure that is too complex to prosecute. This is the ultimate hidden agenda: to create a system of power that is too big to fail and too complex to regulate. The legal labyrinth is not accidental. It is a deliberate feature. It ensures that when the inevitable catastrophe happens, when a financial market is destabilized or a political election is swayed, the blame will be scattered across a dozen different entities, allowing the true power brokers to walk away clean. The lack of a clear single point of accountability is the final, most dangerous secret Sam Altman is trying to hide. This is the hidden truth. The most powerful technology in the world is being developed by a company that is structurally designed to be uncontrollable by the public and are unaccountable to the law. The question is not if this power will be misused, but when and who will be left holding the bag when the catastrophe hits. The investigation into who controls Sam Altman is not about personal gossip. It is about reclaiming the master switchment for humanity. The positive feeling we must take away is this: the power structure is opaque, but it is not invisible. We have identified the hidden hands, the corporate dependencies, the regulatory capture, and the illusion of the non-profit shield. Our power lies in demanding transparency. We must demand that the corporate structure be simplified, that the true financial and political dependencies be made public, and that the safety board be given real, unassailable power, not just the illusion of it. We must push for a global standard where the safety of AGI is not a suggestion, but a raw legal, enforceable requirement that cannot be overruled by investors. This means demanding that the safety board members be legally liable for any catastrophic failure, giving them the teeth they need to stand up to the money. The future of AGI should not be decided by a handful of self-selecting billionaires and their corporate backers. It must be decided by the public through transparent democratic processes. The time for blind trust is over. The time for rigorous investigation and public demand is now. If you want to stay ahead of the curve on the tech that is reshaping our world, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, stay in control and stay vigilant.